This is the first subject in the range Visitor Management 5.0 Tech videos. It focuses on the preparation and installation. If you are already familiar with visitor management or when you upgrade from a prior release, you may want to skip this video and continue with Part 2 Visitor Management 5.0 Configuration and Usage. We will start with preparing AMS for the installation and use of visitor management. First, we need to take care that we create the required and expected accounts in AMS to be able to install and use visitor management. First thing to do is create an admin account that will be responsible for the visitor management backend communication to AMS. We will create a new user with the name vmadmin. Now we will provide a username and password for the new created admin. The admin name and password need to be provided during installation of visitor management. Also, we need to set unlimited API access rights for this admin. Visitor management does work with 3 different user roles. For each role we will create a user profile. VM receptionist, VM host, and VM administrator. These profiles need to be assigned to real persons. Also, these persons need a username and password. Gianna Garcia is in marketing and invites her business contacts. She acts as a host and plans visits. She needs the VM host profile. Charles Smith is our general manager and responsible for the smooth configuration of visitor management. He will be assigned the VM administrator profile. Sukio Tanaka is the office manager, and when visitors arrive she will approve their visit and assign them a badge. Therefore she needs the VM receptionist profile. We will assign that. James Williams, our sales guy, will also act as a host when he invites customers. Therefore also the profile VM host. The last preparation that we need to make for our visitors is that we need to give them access to the office building. There is already an authorization, so that the RoHo employees can enter and exit the building. However, for the visitors we also need an access profile. Only for visitors. We assign the authorization profile to the access profile. And in-person classes we assign the profile to the visitors class, so that it would be automatically granted to every new visitor. Also, we want the receptionist to assign cards to the visitors, so that they can open the doors during their visit. Let's register 5 of these cards for future visitors. These cards can always be deleted if there is evidence of abuse. The last thing to check before we definitely can be sure that visitor management will work properly is the license check. The Visitor Management 5.0 comes with a fully separate installation. It contains 2 installables: Bosch Peripheral Device Add-on, formerly known as the Visitor Management Client, and the Bosch Visitor Management Server. We will first install that. We need administrative credentials to do so. Clicking Next shows us the license agreement. Accept it if you agree with the contents. The sequel is already there. Visitor Manager wants to access it, and therefore we need to supply the password. Test the connection. Otherwise you cannot continue. Now we need to supply the name and password of the admin with unlimited API access rights that we created in preparation. Also, we need to test whether we can reach the identity server that is needed to authorize the users that log on in Visitor Management. With clicking Install, the actual installation will start. That goes rather quick. At the end, click Next. And then Finish. The second part of the installation is about the peripheral devices used by the receptionist for scanning, signing and card enrollment. We run the installable as administrator. In the previous version of Visitor Management, this part was called the VM client. It will install 3 core components. The first 2 components are for the Combo Smart Passport Reader. The other peripheral devices that need to be configured are the Signotech Signature Pad and the Lectus 5000 MD Enrollment Reader. Clicking Next shows us the license agreement. Accept it if you agree with the contents. The reader is connected to the USB port that Windows recognizes as COM4. The server needs access to the reader and therefore we need to enter the server's address. Test the connection and add it to the list of allowed servers. Then the actual installation can begin. That will take a couple of minutes. When the green bar is complete, press Next, and then Finish. To be sure that everything is installed correctly, we will open the Visitor Management website. It uses port 5706. And you need to move to the main part to be able to log on with user credentials. Charles is the installer with the VM admin role. He owns the full rights to configure the system. Everything looks fine. Charles is able to enter the settings. In the next video, we will see how Charles will configure the Visitor Management 5.0 for the Roho company.